Russian Su-57 will feature sixth-generation engines in 2024. Russia will launch the Su-57 fighter jet with new engines starting in 2024. The second stage of the ISU-30 engine, or AL-51F1, is ready for production after testing, state-run TSS said, citing two sources. A reported afterburner thrust of 18,000 kilograms, 39,683 pounds, would allow it to travel at speeds in excess of Mach 2 without activating the fuel-guzzling afterburners that increase heat signature. The lack of supercruise without an afterburner reportedly hampers the fifth generation's stealth capabilities. Russia has been testing the two-stage ISU-30 on the Su-57 since 2017 as a replacement for the AL-41F1, which is also installed on the Su-35. The fifth-generation Su-75 aircraft being developed by Russia is also expected to feature the ISU-30. The first flight of the Su-75 is expected to take place in mid-2025. Meanwhile, Russia is deploying the first tranche of ISU-30 equipped Su-57s in Ukraine after receiving more than 10 aircraft in 2023, TASS wrote. The aircraft will not be equipped with a new engine because the previous version was measured to be capable. There are no plans to replace the first-stage engines on the Su-57s already transferred to the Air Force with new engines, said one of the sources quoted by the outlet, explaining that even with the first-stage engines, the Su-57 surpasses the F-35 in U.S. capabilities. Citing design bureau developer AM Lilka, TASS wrote that the first-stage engine gives the aircraft super maneuverability, better thrust-to-weight ratio, and low visibility. Another advantage is the oxygen-free plasma ignition system in the main combustion chamber and afterburner, he said. An upgraded version of the Sukhoi Su-57 will enter production in 2025. Sources in the Russian military-industrial complex report that an upgraded and modernized version of the Su-57 will go into mass production by 2025. Modernization is part of the Megalopolis development program. According to TSS, one of the main improvements of this new Su-57 is the incorporation of a second-stage engine, the ISU-30, and reducing and increasing the cockpit, perhaps to consolidate as much Su-57 production as possible. -57 with checkmate S-75. Recently, Russian media reported that work is underway on technology that would allow various functions of the Su-57 to be controlled by voice and sight. It is currently unknown whether the aircraft to be delivered from 2025 will have this capability. The TSS informant also clarified that the results of the modernization of the Megapolis Research and Development Project were designed for the single-seat Su-57 fighter aircraft. Some time ago, the idea circulated that the Su-57 fighter would also be designed in a two-seat variant, first only for export, but then also to carry out missions that might be too difficult for a pilot, such as controlling the aircraft. A swarm of Okhotnik B, or Hunter B, combat drones. When India became a partner in the Su-57 program, this two-seat variant would be developed specifically to meet the requirements of the IAF, Indian Air Force, while the Russian side showed no interest in it. The opinion of the Russian Air Force, VVS, may change regarding the need for a two-seat Su-57, due to the emergence of unmanned fighters loyal to wingmen, whose pilots must command and supervise as well as control the aircraft themselves. The Russian Air Force will receive 24 Su-57s by the end of 2024. The number will increase to 76 by 2028, all single-seat, as agreed in the purchase contract. Therefore, the current phase increase of the Megapolis program should reach at least 52 aircraft. The 2024 Su-57's new AL-51F1 engine allows it to travel at Mach 2. In 2024, U.S. United Aviation Corporation, Rostec, will begin delivering upgraded Su-57s, now equipped with the advanced AL-51F1 engine, previously known as the ISU-30. This revamped fighter has been renamed Su-57M, with the letter M symbolizing the year of modification. Rostec reports that the powerful AL-51F1 engine has passed all tests with flying colors, exceeding every expectation. This new engine produces a strong thrust of up to 11,000 kilograms, and the afterburner is capable of reaching 18,000 kilograms. Due to these improvements, the Su-57 can now reach a cruising speed of Mach 2, while reducing its visibility in the infrared range, a significant technology advantage compared to its predecessors. Interestingly, the AL-51F1 does not improve on the Su-57. It also revitalized another promising fighter aircraft, the Su-75. As Russian Deputy Prime Minister Yuri Borisov said at the Petersburg International Economic Forum, SPIEF, the Su-75 is scheduled to launch its maiden test flight in mid-2025. Currently, the Russian Su-57s are powered by the AL-41F1 engine or its modified version, the AL-41F1S. This was a significant factor that led global aviation authorities to withhold their recognition of the Su-57 as a fifth-generation fighter. Enter the AL-51F1, a game-changing engine that propels the Su-57 firmly into the ranks of fifth-generation fighters. The AL-41F1 engine was initially developed for the MiG 1.44 project. With time, it received an upgrade and evolved into the AL-41F1S that we see today, utilized in the Su-35S and later in the Su-57. Experts argue that these engines don't allow the Su-57 to attain a supersonic cruising speed without afterburning, a trait expected from a fifth-gen fighter. It's worth noting that the F-35 too doesn't achieve supersonic cruise speed, but this doesn't seem to disturb anyone. However, this isn't the full story. The Su-35C, carrying 75% fuel on board, can reach a speed of Mach 1.15 without afterburning. This achievement is on par with the French powerhouse Dassault Rafale. The Su-57 being a ton lighter than the Su-35S and equipped with a pair of AL-41F1 engines updated for increased thrust of 1,400 kilograms, 700 kilograms each, logically suggests that the Su-57 should have no trouble cruising at Mach 1.25 to 1.31 speed without afterburn. The S-shaped air intakes. As time progressed, the Su-57 fighter transitioned from a basic fighter to a sophisticated piece of machinery. It underwent multiple enhancements in its avionics and diverse systems, and received improvements in its gear and fuselage design. Despite its advancements, critics began to express concern, particularly about the lack of S-shaped air intakes, which significantly boost the equivalent radar cross-section (EPR). However, the Su-57 deploys a different technical strategy to compensate for the absence of these air intakes. By 2020, an intriguing practice was observed in photos and videos of the fighter. The air intakes were either meticulously retouched or entirely concealed because the turbine blades were not visible. But that doesn't imply they don't exist. They're just not conspicuously visible. The experts at the Sukhoi Design Bureau didn't neglect the S-channel. They chose a different approach due to the engine's specific characteristics. A part of the engine's performance is vertical, and the exposed turbine blades are shielded by what is known as a coaxial radar blocker, a specific type of grid, similar to the one found on the F-117. Nozzles and turbines. There's exciting news on the horizon as the updated Russian Su-57s are predicted to roll out in 2024, boasting a host of enhancements. These not only include a new engine, but innovative flat nozzles and ceramic turbines as well. Last year, we heard from Rostec and AUC, with the revelation that tests were underway for this novel configuration. Freshly in the news is that these firms report the test outcomes are aligning with the initially outlined technical specifications. We had our first whisper about the Su-57's flat nozzles when a slide from a presentation garnered attention. Swiftly, the Russian media began sourcing from this same slide during a talk by United Engine Corporation, UEC, hinting at ongoing developments. The work was not exclusively about flat nozzles. There was more. They spoke of the development of high-performance bearings, components termed ceramic turbines, and cutting-edge electrical systems. But the conversation doesn't end there. Discourse is also centered around the construction of a three-circuit power plant for the engine. Such progression could potentially lead to a notable improvement in subsonic effective fuel efficiency, perhaps an increase of up to 12.5%. Now that is something to watch out for.